Good evening. Welcome to Northwest Tonight with Mairead Smith. Our top story. A Stockport man has been charged with drugging and raping his unconscious wife along with 12 other men. The men appeared in court in Manchester today. Also tonight, it's a photo that's gone around the world. The Liverpool photographer who took it says it was more luck than judgment.
Which side of the car is he? Is he in the front? Is he in the back? Will the flash recycle in time? The photo gods were on my side yesterday.
Preparing to make history, Australian Dave Warby gets ready to run Donald Campbell's Bluebird on Coniston Water for the first time in almost 60 years.
Oh, well, that's Tilly. That's Presley.
That's Joel, isn't Joel?
We meet the grandmothers who saved their local playgroup 25 years ago and still run it today.
And is it finally time to ditch the big coat as things turn much milder over the weekend? But make sure your jacket does have a hood because we are due some rain. But how much? Join me at the end of the programme. I'll tell you all about it.
A man from Greater Manchester has appeared in court accused of drugging his wife for himself and 12 other men to sexually abuse. The husband, who can't be named for legal reasons, appeared at Manchester Minchell Street Crown Court via video link today and denied the various offences against him. Our reporter Rowan Bridge was in court.
We can't name the husband in this case because of legal restrictions, but I can tell you that he's in his 60s and he's from Stockport and he faces 48 offences, including conspiracy to rape and a number of other sexual offences. 12 other men have also been charged in this case. They range in age from 28 to 73 years old, and most of them face sexual offences as well. They all appeared here in court earlier today. Some of them were in person, some were on video links. 7 of those men, including the woman's husband, pled not guilty to all the offences they are charged with. 5 men were not asked to enter a plea, and 1 man admitted a number of sexual offences, including conspiracy to rape. Some of the women's family members were in court for the hearing and watched on as proceedings took place here in Minchell Street Crown Court, and a further hearing in the case is due in March. A trial date has provisionally been set for September, and the trial is due to last around 12 weeks.
Next tonight, it's the image on every front page, every screen in TV newsrooms and on every front page of news websites around the world. The photograph of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor being driven away from a police station in Norfolk after his arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. And the photo was taken by Phil Noble, a photographer who was born in Liverpool and who now lives in Manchester. Our Merseyside reporter Andy Gill has more, and just a warning, there are flashing images at the start of Andy's report.
Phil Noble got his world-beating shot as the former prince was driven away from Aylsham Police Station in Norfolk. A defining image captured despite the conditions and after Phil had to hurry back to the location, having left for his hotel for the night.
Probably half an hour before I took the photo, I'd done some test shots of other cars leaving the police station, so I had a rough idea of what the camera settings may be, but it's still, you know, more than luck than judgment. When the car comes out, you've got to try and guess where he's sitting, which side of the car is he? Is he in the front? Is he in the back? Will the flash recycle in time? Yeah, the photo gods were on my side yesterday.
Phil is a familiar figure to journalists and broadcasters working here in the Northwest. He's from Liverpool and is now based in Manchester. The news agency Reuters sent him on the 5-hour drive to Norfolk as soon as news of Mr Mountbatten Windsor's arrest broke. But despite being in the right place at the right time, Phil wasn't particularly expecting a scoop.
If I've shot 100 of these and got 10, I'd be amazed. So last night was one of those kind of pinch me moments where you look at the back of the camera, you're tired, it's been a long day, you know you've got him, and then I said to my colleague, can you just double check, is this him? Because you want to make sure you can't believe that you've got him as well as I did.
His photograph of Andrew has become the defining image of how revelations in the Epstein files have plunged the royal family into crisis. Mr Mountbatten Windsor has consistently denied any wrongdoing. For one Liverpudlian photographer, though, yesterday's events have brought global acclaim.
Is it the best photo I've ever taken? No. Is it up there with one of the most important? 100%. And, you know, when you work in news, it's not an exact science. The best photos aren't always the most newsworthy.
Andy Gill, BBC North West Tonight, Liverpool.
Now, the race to become the next MP for Gorton and Denton is into its final week, with 11 candidates vying for the votes of residents in next Thursday's by-election. It's taking place after the suspended Labour MP Andrew Gwynn stepped down due to ill health. Kevin Fitzpatrick has been to meet two more of those in the running.
Pounding the streets of Denton this morning, the Conservatives were in good spirits.
Hello, my name's Charlotte Cadden, I'm the Conservative candidate.
They came fifth here at the general election in 2024, nearly 16,000 votes behind Labour. But their candidate, a retired police detective, says they're getting a decent response on the doorstep.
I don't know if you've seen anything about me, whether you've had any leaflets around, you know, what I'm all about. 30 years in public service. Been in the police.
Charlotte Cadden says ensuring the inquiry into grooming gangs happens would be her priority.
We've got a lot of victims here who are now, you know, women who've suffered at the hands of grooming gangs, groups of men who've trafficked them around the UK. So that's something that's really important to me and the residents here.
But how are you trying to get in the conversation when all the talk is about Labour reform and the Greens?
Yes, it's a Labour seat, it's been Labour for over 50 years. But if you look at what Kemi's put together in terms of stronger borders, a stronger economy and all those policies that underpin those two main aims, there's definitely something that would improve the lives of people here.
While the Conservatives were way behind last time, the Liberal Democrats were another 1,000 votes further.
Welcome to Gorton Market.
But as a former councillor here, their candidate believes she ticks an important box.
Everyone's trying to say they're local, but I seem to be the only one who actually lives here. And I get the feeling many of these locals will never be seen again once polling day is over.
So what are you saying to the voters then?
I've got a good reputation. When I was a councillor, I was working hard for the people of the area. That's what I intend to do. And I intend to promote policies in Westminster that will help with jobs, with repairing our relationship with Europe so that businesses can trade again.
There are 11 candidates in total running in this by-election, all hoping to become the next MP for Gorton and Denton. You can find minute manifestos from all of them on the BBC website. Kevin Fitzpatrick, BBC North West Tonight, Gorton.
He's a man hoping to make history. The man who'll take the place of Donald Campbell when Bluebird K7 returns to Coniston Water for the first time in nearly 60 years has visited the lake for the first time today. Australian Dave Warby will pilot the hydroplane, which has been rebuilt following the crash that killed Campbell in 1967. Large crowds are expected for the 7-day event in May, and Warby intends to put on a show. He's been talking with Phil Cunliffe.
It's just a holy place of world water speed record breaking. It's such an iconic venue. Absolutely surreal to be here. I think an ocean liner would have problems in this.
The lake would have been too choppy for Bluebird today, but this small craft gave Dave Warby a first chance to feel what Donald Campbell must have felt when he took to Coniston Water.
Do you feel a sense of history that you're stepping into big shoes?
Yeah, I don't think I'm fitting into anyone's shoes, especially not Donald Campbell's or any other record breaker. We're here to do justice to Donald Campbell, do justice to his story on the world water speed record, and for Coniston as well.
Coniston is undoubtedly where Bluebird belongs, but its true spiritual home is here, on the lake, by the water. It's where Donald Campbell broke 7 world water speed records, and tragically, it's where his body and the wreckage of the boat lay undiscovered for 34 years.
Donald Campbell's boy's own adventures proved inspirational to Dave and Ken, his late father. Ken broke Campbell's world water speed record in 1978. As a challenger, 57-year-old Dave is hoping that one day he'll set a record himself. And while he won't be holding back in Bluebird, he won't be pushing her too hard either.
There's no point going out here and doing 40 mile an hour and just putting around. People want to see it up on the shoes and going. So And I don't think it's putting it at too much risk to ask for 150 mile an hour. That's the idea here, is to bring K7 back in one piece, nice and safe for the museum, because it's such a rare, iconic vehicle.
8 years ago, Bluebird underwent testing in Scotland. But her return to Coniston, what everybody wanted, was delayed by a bitter ownership battle, eventually settled out of court. With 2 new jet engines fitted and a 10-mile-per-hour speed limit lifted on the lake, everything is set for a week of celebrations in May.
It's a fantastic venue because you're very close to where the boat's been run. It'll be a good show. There's good people here and good support for it in the community. I think it's going to be a phenomenal event.
For some, Bluebird's return to Coniston Water marks the final chapter in her story. Water, death and rebirth. The iconic blue machine will soon come full circle. Phil Cunliffe, BBC North West Tonight, Coniston.
And we wish him all the best. Now, some more stories in the North West tonight. Cheshire's Police and Crime Commissioner has defended his office's use of a taxpayer-funded Land Rover after criticism by political opponents. Businesses on a Widnes industrial estate say they're shocked after being told to leave within weeks. It's understood Halton Council wants to build houses on the land. And after £1.8 million worth of gold bars were found in a man's hand luggage at Manchester Airport, a court has ruled that police can keep it. Find out how it will be used at bbc.co.uk/local news or on the BBC News app. Now, figures released this week estimate that 1 in 9 new homes in our region have been built in areas at risk of flooding. Concrete flood defence systems are slow to build and are costly. But one conservation group in the region is building a series of natural flood defence systems which could protect hundreds of homes. Here's our environment correspondent, Judy Hobson.
Boxing Day 2015. This is Whalley. 5 years later, the town flooded again. A flood defence scheme is being proposed along the River Calder at a cost of more than £8 million. But many communities don't qualify for expensive flood defences, even though their homes are at risk. So could this field near Clitheroe offer part of the answer?
Today we're along Worston Brook and we're at one of our sites where we've been delivering one of our natural flood management schemes. What would happen naturally, we had lots of trees on site where they would fall over the brook, spill the water out onto this floodplain, which you can see in high flow events. So what we've done is done these man-made interventions, these features that you can see behind me. And then we've got some with this brashy stuff, will hold back the water.
It's thought this project could help protect almost 500 properties.
So this one is going to protect Clitheroe from flooding events. Over winter we're getting these much more high flow events. You know, these 1 in 10, 1 in 50 events are happening much more regular than what they used to do. So climate change has a big impact on why these features are needed.
The scheme is being monitored closely, helping to shape other projects across the country.
This project is costing around £400,000. We're hoping that we're going to be storing a volume of around 1.7 million litres of water, so holding that back rather than allowing it to flow down to Clitheroe and flood the communities there. And compared to traditional concrete defences, it's a heck of a lot cheaper and it provides so many other benefits.
Natural flood defences like this create new wildlife habitats and improve the health of our rivers. A couple of miles away, another project.
By putting the pond in here, we've increased the storage capacity higher in the catchment. And whilst this is just one pond, what we really want to do is have lots of these across the whole catchment. And if you think about the increase in capacity that would have on a wider scale in combination, then it can really help to make a difference.
The Environment Agency provides some of the funding for projects like this to make our rivers more resilient to extreme weather, as the number of properties at risk of flooding increases. Judy Hobson, BBC North West Tonight, Clitheroe.
Now, Julia is here with the Sports Desk, and we start with some breaking news about Manchester United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
Yes, the Football Association has been examining whether Sir Jim Ratcliffe's controversial interview in which he claimed the United Kingdom had been colonised by immigrants had brought the game into disrepute. We now know he won't be charged by the governing body, but has been reminded of his responsibilities as a participant in English football when taking part in media interviews. Burnley go to Chelsea this weekend, 9 points adrift in the Premier League relegation zone, and there's pressure building on manager Scott Parker as they fight to stay in the top flight. I've been to see him and forward Zian Fleming at the club's training ground ahead of a huge game tomorrow. After the highs of promotion, it's been a reality check for Burnley, so why have they found this season so tough?
I expected the challenge to be massive, to be fair, but I also always said that it's not a given that the 3 teams that are going up are going to go straight back down.
Well, they're trying everything now, the Premier League team. And Fleming over the bar!
We are where we are, so for us it looks like the gap is so big, but I don't know, it is big, but it's not that it's impossible to bridge it.
Burnley go into the weekend game at Chelsea second from bottom and with just 4 Premier League wins all season. And League One Mansfield Town came here to Turf Moor and knocked them out the FA Cup at the weekend. Some fans now want a change.
I'm gutted, to be honest. It's not worked out for Scott. I just don't think he's capable, as he's proved at 2 of previous clubs. You know, Bournemouth and Fulham both warned us about what kind of football he'd bring. Don't get me wrong, we did brilliant things last season in getting up, but I just think he's out of his depth at this level.
I think a lot of people are on his back, but to me, I think Parker should stay. I think he's done a real good job. Obviously in Premiership, I think you're competing with the big boys, so I think we're still punching his weight, because look at Bolton and teams like us around us, so some Burnley fans need to have a look at that.
I think should have got rid of him a while ago. He's not a Premier League manager. So fair enough, some people are saying if we keep him for next, because we're going down now, I think it's too late.
The manager is under huge pressure now, but Scott Parker insists he remains the right man for the club.
I understand it's a performance-driven business, I get that, and we are working absolutely tirelessly to obviously get the best out of this group and this group of players, really. So we'll carry on and maintaining to do that, really.
With 12 games left to play, can Burnley pull off a great escape from the relegation places?
It's probably not the most realistic scenario that we are going to stay up. We need something really special to stay up, and we might maybe, if you want to call it a miracle or whatever it is. But yeah, I believe in them.
Burnley's game at Chelsea could be key in deciding not just the fate of the manager, but also the club's Premier League status. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola says with 12 games to go, he couldn't care less about his side's position in the table. He told the media that was an eternity, and to ask him again when there are only 3 games left. His side can close the gap on leaders Arsenal to just 2 points if they can beat Newcastle in tomorrow night's late kick-off. 6th place Liverpool are at Nottingham Forest on Sunday, while Everton host Manchester United on Monday. There are 4 all-North West games in the EFL this weekend. In the Championship tonight, Preston go to Blackburn. It's the first home game for Rovers' new boss, Michael O'Neill, who's also Northern Ireland's manager. Tomorrow, Bolton face Blackpool, while relegation-threatened Wigan go to promotion-chasing Stockport. League 2 sees a lunchtime kick-off for Fleetwood Town against Barrow. You can see all our local fixtures on the BBC Sport website. It's the Merseyside derby in the Women's FA Cup 5th round this weekend. While Liverpool are facing Everton, Manchester City will be taking on Sheffield United, and Manchester United go to Chelsea. On to rugby, and St Helens aim to get their first Super League points of the season tonight. They play nearby rivals Lee Leopards, who finished above them in the table last season. Tomorrow, Wigan Warriors welcome Hull FC. Keely Hodgkinson says her aim this year is to push more boundaries after she broke the long-standing women's indoor 800-metre world record, set on the very day she was born. The Olympic champion from Atherton crossed the line in 1 minute, 54.87 seconds in France, taking almost a second off the previous time.
Thank God!
No, that was really fun. I've been really looking forward to this for a good few weeks. So thank you for the amazing crowd. I could hear you all the way around, and that was a lot of fun. Thank you.
And a reminder, for the best coverage of your team this weekend, you can listen to your local BBC radio.
On Sunday, Liverpool hoping to avoid that new manager bounce from Nottingham Forest. They go to the City Ground. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff on BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Merseyside.
Manchester City look to close the gap on league leaders Arsenal when they take on Newcastle on Saturday night.
And here in Lancashire, can Blackpool build on their win on Tuesday against Mansfield when Ian Evatt returns to Bolton? We've got the whole game live for you tomorrow from 3.
They've got your best coverage. Mairead, back to you.
Thank you. Gosh, there's another busy weekend ahead. Now, almost 25 years ago, Barbara Smith and Joyce O'Connell were determined to save their Formby playgroup. And not only did they manage to save it, they're still running it to this day. Barbara just about to hit 80 and Joyce is 83. And neither of them have any intention of retiring anytime soon. Jane McCubbin went to meet them.
I used to play tennis.
For almost 25 years, Barbara and Joyce have run this playgroup.
All right.
Barbara had brought her own children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews here, and when it was threatened with closure...
You couldn't let go. If Joyce will help me, we'll, do it
together?
Joyce said yes, so that was it.
The good friends agreed to step up and keep it going.
Thank you. Very good boy. That was nice manners.
They are Nana to everyone here in Formby.
Oh, well, that's Tilly. That's Presley. That's Joel, isn't Joel? Hello.
Oh, they're just amazing. I mean, look what they do, all the hard work. Every weekend they come in, set it up, and just fantastic. This is what we need in our community. And to be in your 80s and doing this is just amazing.
Look at the camera.
We were told about the playgroup by Joyce's family.
You see Joy here every day, and they just don't realise how important their role is in spreading that joy.
That's what it's all about.
Barbara and Joyce saved the playgroup, but in the years that followed, the playgroup has often saved them.
Just over a year ago, my brother died. I think just the fact that she was going to come and see the children, it just lifted her when she was really down, and it gave her that, that little pause in a really tricky time.
It was just, everybody just cared so much, and it helped.
We've ended up being such good friends. We've supported each other with the loss of our husbands.
It keeps you young. There's a little poem, something I can't remember what it was, but it started off, "Child of my child. Child of my child, heart of my heart. Your smile bridges the years between us. I am young again, discovering the world through your eyes. You have the time to listen and I have the time to spend. Bye, Elsie. Through you I see the future. Through me you'll see the past. In the present we'll love one another as long as these moments last."
And it's almost like when they retired, they got a second lease of life in the voluntary sector.
When are you going to retire from this?
When we can't come.
How old are you now?
83.
And I'll be 80 in May.
Bye!
Never give up.
No.
Be lost without us.
Bye, Percy. We just love doing it.
Gosh, they're just wonderful. Now, let's have a look at the weather with Molly. Will the rain continue, Molly?
Yeah, for a time, unfortunately, Mairead. We have got more rain in the forecast over the weekend, and we had some today. It's been very blustery out there today. This was how it looked on Blackpool's seafront. Wouldn't want to be there this afternoon. But we did have further spells into the rest of the day, but a drier and brighter end for some. Thank you very much for sending your photos in. If you'd like to send your own in, you can do. All the details are behind me now. It has felt mild, though, today, and it is going to get even milder into the weekend, with temperatures widely in double digits for most of us. It is going to stay breezy, though, and we are going to have further spells of rain, as I mentioned, mainly on Saturday. A better day to come on Sunday. So this is the setup. We've got southwesterlies with us. That is bringing in that milder air, but we are going to see some weather fronts coming our way. One of those coming tonight. But actually, for the first half of the night, it is going to be largely cloudy and dry. We will have some scattered showers and then that warm front coming in, and we will have further spells of rain then. But lows of around 5 degrees Celsius. That was actually the daytime high at the start of this week, so showing how mild it's going to be over the next few days. But I'd say for most of us around 7 to 8 degrees Celsius, and it is going to be a windy night and a windy start tomorrow. So a lot of cloud about first thing tomorrow, the odd break, a lot of drizzle, quite damp weather, and then we'll see a cold front come in, and that is going to be potentially quite disruptive, quite heavy in nature. We could see the odd rumble of thunder where you see those greens there, but temperatures holding up at around 13 degrees Celsius. So unseasonably mild for this time of year. A windier day to come on Sunday, but actually a lot of drier weather on Sunday. Some bright spells in there as well. But temperatures on Tuesday is going to get even milder. We could see 14 degrees, Mairead, which would make it the mildest day of the year so far.
A balmy 14 degrees.
I know.
I'll take that.
We'll take that, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's it from us. Have a wonderful weekend, whatever you're doing. I am back tomorrow with your Tea Time News. Bye-bye.